Hey guys, this is Oracle Daphne. My name is Beth and I'm back today to record another pick a card reading for you guys here on YouTube. And I wanted to focus this pick a card reading on the Aries season energy. So like the Aries energy and how it's going to apply to you, and like what messages and things come through that you need to know, or what can you expect with this season of Aries. And it's, you know, each season where the sun is in, you know, its particular sign, so this case it's the sun is in Aries, has its own vibe. And I was thinking, like, I really wanted to focus on how that's going to really apply to everybody. Because I'm not doing my monthly horoscopes, obviously you would still need to pick a card and see if you resonate with the messages. But I think that this is going to cover a lot of, messages that want to come through, at this time. And hopefully you guys will resonate with it and you'll like it. So I do want to say first off that I am still offering private readings. If you'd like to get a private reading, you can check out my website. The links are going to be below in the description box. The link to my website's there. It's oracledaphne.com. All the links to donating, which would be super helpful at this time, are also down there, to PayPal, Venmo, and Cash App. So yeah, all of that, all the love and support is appreciated at this time. I'm not able to monetize my videos, and it's still, I'm trying to get as many videos as I can done per day, but it's still just like very slow going as far as getting my monetization back. So I thought it would be faster, but every day, you know, like there's some days where I feel like I can record a lot, and then other days I just don't have the energy to do it. So all donations are really appreciated. I do want to jump in. I'm going to pull 3 cards like I normally do for my pick a card readings, and we'll just kind of go from there. Okay, so card 1, group 1, card 2, group 2, and card 3, group 3. Okay. I already get the sense just by looking at these cards that the energies are quite, I want to say, melancholy or low, which is interesting. It's not what I was expecting to see, but that's kind of how, you know, my viewers here on YouTube are going to kind of be responding to or reacting to the Aries energy. And the interesting thing is that there was a YouTuber, you know, and I can link to her video that she did recently, where she basically was talking about how kind of it's a painful transitional time spring is. And I do feel like, you know, for some people the amount of sunlight increasing is kind of overwhelming, and it's a little bit painful. And I always have a little bit of a difficult time in the spring. I always feel like, I don't know, like the spring to me is just a challenge. It's a beautiful time, but it's always challenging for some reason. I don't know why. So I definitely can, you know, resonate and feel that. I am going to jump into card 1, group 1. Okay, so this is the first card that I pulled. This is group 1. This is the moving card. Can also indicate travel, but most of the time it indicates actual physical moving of location. Let me see what else I get here. There's some money that you're going to be getting that's going to help you move. I don't know whether it's a chunk of change from friends or from family or assistance of some kind. You know, like for me, like I had housing assistance, so some of you, this may be housing assistance. I really don't feel that though. I actually feel like this is actually moving, you know, putting a down payment on a house, or putting a down, you know, first last deposit on an apartment or something somewhere. I feel like you're going to love it, whatever it is, wherever it is you're going. The Aries energy, yes, the outcome is the 3 of Swords here. And I don't, know really what the story is or how you're going to come about this ending of sorts. Like, to me, there's like an ending that's happening for you. And I don't know if that's in a relationship. I feel like most likely it's relationship related. You got the Death card, the Emperor, and the Three of Swords. So it's like the Death card brings on transformation. The Emperor brings out, to me, is like the stop sign. It's like it is a natural ending or an actual very like strong ending or like wall or boundary. And the Three of Swords is feeling like hurt. So to me, there could be a transformation in your housing. There could be a transformation with your kids or your family. There could be a lot of things happening because of this, to me, like an ending of sorts. I feel like it's an ending. It might not actually be like the end of a relationship. It could just be feeling hurt by a relationship also. And for some of you, like, you might actually sleep with this person, like, in the future. You might have like phone sex, or you might like sext, or you might hook up with them, or you might still feel very attracted to them. To me, there's like an attraction too that I'm seeing. I don't really see many other messages coming through. To me, you're going to have a lot going on. And to me, it's a little bit overwhelming how much you're going to have going on. I feel like there could be different circumstances. Like, the story could be different than what I'm saying. It just feels like, I don't know how else the story would go with those three cards there, though. But to me, there's some pocket of time or some situation during this Aries season that you're going to feel hurt by something, that you might be a little bit off track, feel off track, or you might be a little bit bullheaded. I was going to say bullheaded about something, stubborn about something. You know, if I'm being completely, you know, if I look at myself, you know, and how I act sometimes, you know, my behavior is not necessarily the best in relationships. So, like, if you were to take a page out of my book, you know, this is being like, okay, like, this is not working, and like cutting somebody off. Like, I've talked about this before, and it's mainly because if I don't do that, then I will go off and be very, very, like, it'll derail me. So to me, there's like a little bit of a derailment for some of you. Maybe it's a little derailment, and maybe it's a lot of derailment. It really just depends on your situation. This is for group 1. I'm going to pull some other cards just to see. I was going to pull some other cards just to see. For some of you, there's some cheating involved. Maybe that's why it's complicated. Some of you, like, I feel like some of you are actually going to be talking to me, maybe booking a reading or something. It's needing to get, some of you need to get back out there as far as dating too. I'm seeing that. I feel like you're going to have some kind of a fresh start. I don't know whether it's a new job or it's a new dating situation. But there is some kind of fresh start. Some of you are into social media. You might have your own YouTube channel. You might have, you know, a lot of followers on Instagram. Some of you are focused on that. Some of you, like, despite maybe any cheating, I feel like there's someone that's very, I want to say sex focused or sex driven. There's so many messages coming through at this time. So like the first message that I got for some of you is like, you might actually start cheating with somebody new. This sounds terrible, but like if you've cheated before in the past, you might find somebody else to cheat with in the future. Some of you, you might find like whoever it is that you've been cheating with, like even more attractive than maybe they were in the beginning, and you might end up sleeping with them quite a lot or more. Some of you, you're going to meet someone despite any kind of cheating that has been happening. You're going to meet somebody new. And for others, very few, a relationship that might have started out off as cheating might actually lead into like something more. That's what I want to say. Very few. Yeah, like having like some kind of fresh start. It might lead into something new. It really depends. I don't know. Like, part of me is like very unsure about that. So, for some of you, it's very, very few though. Yeah, that's all that I want to say there. Okay, so, I want to move on. I think this is group 2. I think so. Moving on to group 2, card 2. We've got this new consciousness card, and this is a card also about endings, ending of a relationship. I wrote on here, don't despair. Endings always lead to a new beginning. And I also said, you have learned all you were meant to from that person. It's time to move on. So some of you do need to leave behind a relationship that's no longer viable. That's what I want to say. And maybe that's what I was picking up in group 1. Some of you need to physically like move out from a partner that's no longer working. I'm seeing that. Like some of you live together with someone and like you need to move out. Maybe the relationship comes to an end and you move out. And it's going to be expensive. Like I think for a period of time, like it might be very expensive for you to have like your own place. Plus, like this is why people have a difficult time breaking up or getting a divorce. Because they can't afford to live separately. They can only afford to live together. If they move out, then they're paying 2 rents or 2 mortgages or like, you know, and it's just too much for a lot of people. So some of you may have that problem. Some of you may have had that problem in the past too. I'm seeing that too. I'm seeing also like a person that maybe was married at one point and then they moved out and they're carrying all of the bills themselves for their, you know, maybe the kids live with them or maybe the kids live with the partner, but it's like there's all these bills that are being carried by like one person, or like after maybe you split up, there's this thing about carrying the bills, or it's just a lot. It feels like a lot. Some of you, yeah, there is something about child support here. I am seeing that. I'm also seeing someone being very supportive too. Maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a family member, maybe someone's helping you out with some bills. Maybe it's like parents. I'm seeing like some kind of parents thing, or maybe helping out with a few bills. Anything that caused like a tower moment, or anything that causes a tower moment, okay, because it's in the future, it's future energies and it hasn't happened yet. Could be, you know, an argument with a partner, could be, like a fight you get into somebody fight, you get into it with like, it's so funny, I'm seeing this with like a cell phone provider. I always somehow get into it with my cell phone provider. Don't get me started, okay? Because I really could. Like, to me, it's so funny. I was like, well, what is this devil? You know, I've seen this devil. The devil is the corporations. It's the large companies that are making buku dollars off us taxpayers. And when we call customer service, it's hell. It's just the nightmare of all nightmares. So some of you, this is funny. Some of you, this is a relationship that you're dealing with. Those of you who are not dealing with a relationship, this is where you're calling your cell phone provider and getting into it with them, potentially cutting off your service. But most of you, it's relationship. Most of you, it's just relationship. Don't worry. This is funny. I'm going to pull some other cards and see what else I get. I do feel like for some of you, you're going to be meeting someone new. That's what I want to say, meeting someone new. And you guys got my favorite card. This talks about being a rolling stone. And I remember crying in one of my other videos about this. And this card specifically just touches me so much because it means that in order for you to get this, you would have had to have overcome quite a lot. And you don't see sometimes like the beauty in yourself. You know, beautiful people come from this energy. You know, people that are famous, people that are, you know, their channel blows up, you know what I'm saying? They get an opportunity and suddenly it's like they become shiny. They become the diamond in the rough. They become the diamond. It's not in the rough anymore. They become the diamond. They started off as just a stone and then life tumbled them along. And through all of those experiences, those traumas, those pains and all that stuff and life lessons, they became this diamond. They became a person who had a lot to share, a lot to offer, a lot to contribute. And a lot of times people, and again, I get emotional when I talk about this card, people do not see how things sometimes will work out in their favor. And it's so hard to sometimes see it. And sometimes people don't even see the beauty in themselves. And that's the thing. And to me, there's some beautiful, magical thing that's going to be happening for this group. And I don't know how it's going to come about. I feel like there's a beautiful energy that wants to come through. It's blessings. To me, it's a lot of blessings. And there's going to be blessings that are going to be coming through that you're going to be super grateful for. And things, to me, turning out for the best. Yeah, you might still have issues at work. And yeah, you might still get into it with a boss. And yeah, you might have problems with people in your life or, you know, boyfriends or girlfriends, you know. But the weird thing is that there's this beautiful love that's showing up here too that kind of conquers all. And that's the thing my guide was saying, love conquers all. And I don't normally say that kind of thing, and I don't normally believe that, but in this spread, I do believe this good energy that's coming through will overcome any kind of troubled waters. Yeah. That's what I want to say. It's just, to me, like it's a beautiful reading, actually. That you might not see. that you might not appreciate at this moment, your life at this moment. But to me, there's a lot of beautiful things to it. So I'm just going to leave group 2 there and move on to my last group. It's funny because I'm so like caught up like right now in reading the energy that I almost feel like the Aries, I guess, okay, so I should say for both groups, I feel like the Aries energy of conflict is very present. So, you know, to me, the energy of peace, the energy of love wants to come through, but at the same time, any kind of, and Aries can be quite stubborn, you know, so any kind of stubbornness, any kind of like resistance to the new, is going to cause problems. Any kind of issues of not wanting to bury the hatchet, not wanting to forgive, not wanting to move on, not wanting to be in a space of love, that's going to be an issue because the Aries energy of like war and conflict and arguments is very present here. That's how the energies are going to affect you. That's what I want to say. But like I said, you know, love conquers all. So I do feel like it's possible for there to be peace, even during this very, you know, rough road right now. I want to say that. So, which brings me to group 3. I'm moving on to group 3. Group 3 is this card here, which is, I think this is Nine of Swords. 9 of Swords. I think it's a 9 of Swords. I can't be totally 100% sure, but I think that that's what this is. And yeah, this indicates loneliness, sleepless nights, anxiety and depression, extreme worry. I do not like this card because this card to me is like, the thing is, there have been points in my life where I felt like things were like a nightmare. Like I wanted to wake up. I wanted to wake up, but I wanted it to be gone. Like I wanted to wake up and suddenly there I was, you know, in a housing situation that I loved with a person that I loved. You know, I wanted to wake up and I wanted the pandemic to go away. I wanted all this crap about this whatever situation to go away. I wanted the guys that came out today that just weed killed all of the rocks in the complex to go away. I wanted to wake up and that to have never have happened. There have been times where I wanted to wake up where I knew where money was coming from, where I had a job, where I had people that loves me, where it didn't feel so hard, where it didn't feel so stressful. I wanted to wake up. And to me, that's this card. It's this card about feeling like you really just want to wake up from the nightmare and things where things are different, where things are better, where things aren't so crappy, you know, where you know that things are okay. And, you know, I talk about my dad a lot on my channel. I can't help it. Like the last time that I felt like I woke up and things were okay was probably like 2014 when I went to go see my family. And I remember waking up and I slept so good. And I never worried, like when I woke up there, I never woke up thinking life is a nightmare. It just, that energy didn't happen for me until much later. And the last 6 months basically have been like every night feeling kind of like that. Feeling kind of like, when is the nightmare going to go away? When are things going to change? When are things going to get better? When am I going to know what's going on with my finances? When am I going to be able to monetize my channel? When is it going to be where I actually meet someone who cares about me enough to like want to have a family and settle down and have children? You know, when is it going to be that, you know, like life doesn't seem so crappy? And like, for me, is really hard to talk about because, you know, it's very personal, and a lot of people know, you know, they've watched me for a very long time, and so like they just know all the things that I've been through, and I've been through many different things, you know, in the past, you know, since I started my channel, like a lot of things. And so it's just like, for some of you, it's, yeah, it's the feeling of just wanting to wake up where things are better and different, where you know what's happening, or what you know what's going to happen, and things feel safer, or things feel better. And I'm getting a tingle on some of you. That's just what you want. And I'm getting emotional about it because I can really resonate with it. I can really say, yeah, like I know what that's like, and I know how it feels, and it's really shitty to feel that way. It really is. And because it has to do like with a sense, like, and you know, I talked about 2022. I don't know, maybe I didn't. I thought I did. About the energy, about, you know, people feeling helpless. Like, I really want people, talk about Aries season, you know, to feel not so helpless, to feel like they actually are waking up to not the nightmare. But the problem is with this helplessness energy and the Aries energy exacerbating this condition and this energy, because to me, Aries is so, like, very self-focused, very concave, cannot, like, and so if stuff's going on in the world, they're going to have a really hard time with it. You know, they're going to feel trapped. They're going to feel boxed in. They're going to feel restricted. They're going to feel like they're in conflict, constant conflict with it. And the Aries is the baby of the zodiac, and babies are needy. They have needs, and those needs have to be met. And the thing about the nightmare energy is, it just seems like, it seems like there's a sense of helplessness, which again is like the baby energy of not being able to meet your needs. Waking up to the nightmare where your needs are not met constantly, you know? I want to pull some other cards, but this is very challenging energy, but I do understand where you are at. It's interesting because we have this Magician crossing, and it's really unexpected. I guess what I want to say is that some of you need to believe that your dreams can become a reality and actually go for it. And some of you, like, to me, the beautiful Magician energy is like, again, it's a magical energy that's very transformative. You know, he's got his tools, his gadgets, he's doing things, he's creating things, he's inventing things. There's a solution. Whatever is making you feel like life's a nightmare, there is a solution to it. And it might not be readily apparent to you. But to me, there is. Yeah. And some of you, if you want to know if you're going to get married, I feel like you are going to get married. Some of you are already married. Those of you who are already married, I feel like you may be contemplating a divorce, or going through a divorce, or wanting to break free of a relationship that's no longer working. I'm seeing that. Yeah. Going into more love life stuff, I feel like for some of you, your love life is more complicated. And it's hard for me to really go farther into it because there's too many stories. Like, there's too much, like, I don't know, like involvement maybe with third parties, or there's too much just, too much like like mixed energy where like I feel like some people are very focused on career and like don't have anything going on with their love life, but it's hard for me to see what the story is there with their career because of all the other love life stuff. It's just complicated to me. It feels complicated. Some of you may have a complicated love life, but some of you may just also have like a complicated work situation or things that are happening with you. I am going to see if there's any other cards that that have any messages that I can pull. Okay, so like the Aries energy for this group, and actually for everybody overall, is to be very bold. Is to be kind of more brave. Is to put yourself out there. Is to kind of take your first step into something. To let go of anything where there's two or more people involved in a relationship. Anything like that, to me, that's war energy. We want to let go of that. Anything that's, you know, if there's like a disconnect between you and a partner, emotionally, some of you, like the sex is not great. And some of you are going to be like hooking up with someone as like a rebound, which means absolutely nothing. I do see that. I also see my light workers showing up here, which is interesting. The very end here, the light workers showing up. There's something that needs to be transformed or healed with the light workers. I feel the light workers